Few things are as fascinating as trying to decipher what goes on inside the mind of a billionaire, especially when we're talking about someone like Warren Buffett. How did a soft-spoken man who has lived in the same house since 1958 and loves McDonald's manage to amass a fortune of over $130 billion? It wasn't luck. It was habit. Habit combined with discipline, patience, and a long-term vision that few can maintain. Many people believe that to achieve success you need to take crazy risks, wake up at 5 a.m., or have an off-the-charts IQ. But Buffett proved otherwise. Simplicity and consistency can overcome unstable genius. What he did, anyone can learn. The secret lies in the way you think, and most importantly, in the way you act day after day. This video isn't a list of rich guy tips. Here, you'll dive into the habits that shape the successful mindset of one of the greatest investors in history. We'll go behind the scenes of the mind that transformed Berkshire Hathaway into a global powerhouse and see how you can apply these principles even if you're starting from scratch. So, take advantage and subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and come with me on this journey. Get ready to discover the power of the circle of competence, why compound interest is your best friend, and how reputation, once built, can be your greatest asset. Buffett's path is an invitation not just to get rich, but to live with more purpose. Are you ready? Warren Buffett didn't retire as just a billionaire. He ended his active career as a true living legend of the financial market. Over the decades, he didn't just accumulate wealth, he built a solid reputation based on principles, ethics, and a long-term vision. His greatest asset may not even be his money, but the trust he inspired in millions of investors around the world. He proved that it is possible to be successful by maintaining simple values. And that, in the end, is what makes him even more admired. Under his leadership, Berkshire Hathaway grew from a bankrupt textile mill to an empire valued at over $860 billion. And all this without fanfare, without ostentation, without following market trends. Buffett was a master of strategic patience, accumulating good businesses over time. He didn't chase opportunities, he waited for them calmly, like someone fishing in calm waters. And when the right opportunity arose, he acted with precision. This style, almost countercultural today, is what cemented his place in history. Buffett's personal fortune has surpassed $130 billion, but he has always made it clear money is a consequence, not a goal. His true focus has always been on the process, the act of investing rationally, studying companies deeply, and maintaining discipline even when the market goes crazy. While others chase quick profits, he cultivated compound interest with almost Zen-like patience. Buffett reminds us that getting rich is a quiet marathon, not a sprint. More than just shares or billions, Buffett leaves a mental model for the world. He taught that true success requires more than talent. It requires character, integrity, and the courage to be different. His legacy is a roadmap for those who want to build value consistently, without sacrificing ethics. And the beauty of this is that anyone with little or a lot can apply these habits. And if you think it's too late to start, well, Buffett became a billionaire, in truth after 50. Before he became the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett was just a curious kid growing up in Omaha, Nebraska during the Great Depression. As the world fell apart economically, he watched, learned, and developed an early fascination with numbers and business. By the age of 6, he was buying cases of Coca-Cola to resell for a few cents in profit. The lesson? He understood early on the value of multiplying money and early reflection of the magic of compound interest. It wasn't about making a lot of money, it was about making money work. At just 11 years old, Buffett bought his first Stock City service for $38 each. He saw the price drop to $27 and almost panicked, but he waited. When the stock rose to $40, he sold it in relief. A few days later, it reached $200. That small disappointment was a lifelong lesson. Patience and emotional control are more valuable than any chart or analysis. Buffett learned there that an investor's greatest enemy is not the market, it is himself. These experiences shaped the early habits he would carry throughout his life. From an early age, he demonstrated an obsession with learning, seeking information and observing patterns. He compulsively read company reports and statistics like other boys read comic books. This appetite for knowledge became one of his greatest strengths. And here's the thing, anyone can cultivate the same habit. Start small, one book a month can change your perception of the world. Buffett's humble beginnings prove that you don't have to be born rich to build wealth. What you need is curiosity, consistency, and the courage to think differently. He didn't have a fortune, but he did have vision and discipline. And most of all, he was willing to make mistakes and learn from them. His beginnings teach us that what matters most is not where you are today, but where you're willing to go in the mindset you have in mind to get there. After being rejected by Harvard, Buffett found a mentor who would forever change his way of looking at investments, Benjamin Graham, the father of value investing. Graham didn't teach him to chase fads, but rather to analyze the intrinsic value of companies, understanding what they're really worth, not just the momentary price of the shares. It was a true revolution in the mind of the young Buffett, who began to see the financial market with more critical and pragmatic eyes. From Graham, Buffett learned the art of buying good businesses and not simply cheap stocks. This means choosing solid companies with real competitive advantages that can generate consistent profits over the long term. This change in mindset is essential for anyone who wants to build wealth safely and avoid the pitfalls of momentary fluctuations. In other words, he stopped hunting for bargains and focused on what really matters: quality. Benjamin Graham also stressed the importance of discipline and a margin of safety, buying stocks with a margin that protects against mistakes and unforeseen events. Buffett incorporated these concepts and turned them into daily habits, always evaluating carefully before making a decision. This selective filter, which we now call the circle of competence, is what prevents many investors from getting lost trying to understand everything and ending up not understanding anything properly. Graham's influence was not limited to the technical field, but also to the ethical one. Integrity, respect for partners, and patience over time, these lessons permeate Buffett's career to this day. He began investing with the mindset of an owner, not a speculator. And this clear and simple vision is largely responsible for transforming Berkshire Hathaway into the powerhouse we know today. If there's one teaching that Warren Buffett insists on repeating, it is that time as an investor's greatest ally and compound interest is the magic tool that enhances this advantage. He is not looking for quick gains or quarterly profits. His vision is clear to invest thinking decade ahead, or better yet, forever. As he himself likes to say, his favorite holding period is eternity, and this thought changes everything. A classic example of this profitable patience is Coca-Cola. Buffett began investing in the company in the 1980s and has enjoyed steady, growing profits ever since. He didn't need to chase the trends of the moment because he trusted in the durability of the business and its ability to generate cash for many years. This type of investment allows compound interest to do its work silently, turning small investments into fortunes. For those of you who are just starting out, it is worth remembering that there is no point in trying to get rich quick with crazy strategies. The secret is to apply discipline and patience in practice. By reinvesting your earnings and letting time take its course, you create a snowball that grows exponentially. Think of money as a seed. If you take care of it consistently, the harvest will be surprising. More than just numbers, this habit requires a change in mindset, accepting that financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. And this is only possible when you know your circle of competence, avoid risky bets, and maintain a long-term focus. This is a path Buffett took, and it can open doors for you too. Warren Buffett likes to compare investing to a baseball game. You don't have to get every pitch right. You just have to know when to take the field. That's the essence of his famous circle of competence, investing only in what you truly understand and refusing to make any outs. This discipline, as simple in theory as it is in practice, is what separates consistent investors from those who go through the motions. Knowing where to play doesn't mean being an expert in everything, but recognizing your limitations and respecting them. Buffett learned early on that chasing opportunities outside your circle increases the risk of making mistakes. That's why he dedicated himself to deeply understanding the sectors he invested in, looking for companies whose business models were clear and sustainable. This selectivity is one of the pillars of Berkshire Hathaway's strategy. More than seeking genius, Buffett focuses on avoiding mistakes. He believes that it is more important not to lose than to win big. This conservative mindset is not synonymous with fear, but rather with prudence with purpose. The discipline to follow this path helps to build a solid foundation, capable of withstanding market storms and reaping the rewards in the long term. Patience, combined with knowledge, becomes an unbeatable duo. To apply this to your life, start by listing areas that you're good at and look for opportunities within them. Invest time in learning more about your favorite businesses, markets, and the basics of finance. Simplicity, in the form of focus and discipline, is a valuable lesson that Buffett teaches us. And at the end of the day, knowing where not to invest is just as important as knowing where to invest. Warren Buffett does not see a stock on the stock exchange as a number or a piece of paper for quick trading. For him, buying a stock is like buying a real share of a company, becoming a true partner. This view changes the game completely, as the focus is no longer on the price of the stock, but on the value of the business. Investing like this requires patience, because quality companies have intrinsic value, one that the market may not recognize in the short term. When evaluating a company, Buffett looks for characteristics such as durability, strong leadership, and a competitive advantage that he calls a moat or moat, which protect the business from competition. It is this structure that allows the company to grow and generate consistent profits, even in difficult times. For him, investing is about forming a long-term partnership, not a quick bet to make easy money. This mindset helps keep investing simple. Instead of trying to predict the market or follow the latest trends, Buffett invests in what he knows and believes will stand the test of time. This mindset not only preserves capital, but also maximizes returns as companies grow. That's why Berkshire Hathaway has a solid portfolio that's built to last for decades. For those of you who want to apply this idea, think like an owner. Choose companies that you would trust to manage your own money and that have clear fundamentals. Avoid speculation and always value the reputation of the management. This owner's perspective will help you to be more patient, more disciplined, and to build true wealth without getting carried away by market anxiety. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to destroy it. This phrase, repeated over and over by Warren Buffett, reveals how much he values integrity above all else. For him, reputation is an intangible but fundamental asset that must be carefully protected. Within Berkshire Hathaway, this culture of honesty and transparency is cultivated as a true fortress against crises and uncertainties. Building a solid reputation requires discipline and constant ethical choices. Buffett understood that lasting partnerships are only possible when there is mutual trust between leaders and investors. He preferred to walk side by side with trustworthy and honest business people, even if it meant giving up quick gains. This mindset created a virtuous cycle that strengthened the brand and attracted exceptional talent and business. In practice, this means that keeping your word and acting transparently are essential to any successful journey, whether in investing, in your career, or in your personal life. Buffett shows us that when investing, more important than the stock price is the reputation of the management and the company's track record. A solid reputation can be the difference between surviving a crisis or collapsing in it. To apply this habit to your daily life, reflect on your attitudes and commitments. How are you keeping your word? Are you building trust or leaving gaps? Remember, the discipline to protect your reputation is as valuable as any financial asset. And this lesson, inherited from Buffett himself, is a guide to a long-lasting life and career. One of the secrets to Warren Buffett's enduring success lies in the intellectual partnership he formed with Charlie Munger, his right-hand man and business partner at Berkshire Hathaway. Together, they took investment strategy to the next level, blending logic, rationality, and a clinical eye for the markets. This alliance taught Buffett the importance of surrounding himself with people who are rational, calm, and challenge conventional wisdom. Buffett and Munger not only worked together, but they also cultivate an environment where clear thinking and constant learning are a priority. Their days are structured to allow for deep reading, reflection, and informed decisions. This mental discipline creates a safe space to question ideas and avoid impulsive decisions, an essential practice for anyone who wants to invest wisely. The combination of these two geniuses is not just about money, but about creating a culture within the company that values calm and rationality over market noise. They understand that success lies in knowing how to listen, learn, and wait for the right moment to act. This mental environment, built over the years, is one of the reasons why Berkshire Hathaway is so resilient. For you, this lesson can be translated into always seeking to be around people who add to your knowledge, who challenge your way of thinking, and who contribute to your growth. Furthermore, dedicating time to reflection and study is as important as taking action. Success does not happen by improvising, but by carefully building an environment that favors intelligent decisions. Despite all his wealth, Warren Buffett maintains a simple life that defies the stereotype of the extravagant billionaire. He has lived in the same house since 1958, drives his own car, and enjoys a good meal at McDonald's. This simplicity is not just a style choice, but a reflection of his inner values, showing that true wealth lies in peace of mind, not in ostentation. Buffett reminds us that financial success and happiness are not synonymous with luxury. This simple attitude is part of his daily discipline, where he avoids distractions and keeps his focus on what really matters, investing patiently, learning constantly, and cultivating integrity. He rejects the idea that to be a great investor, you have to live in a frenzy and hurry. Instead, Buffett cultivates serenity, modesty, and balanced habits that strengthen his judgment and keep his reputation intact. An even more admirable point is his moral commitment. Buffett has donated most of his fortune, dedicating himself to social causes, and reaffirming that money is a tool to transform lives, not an end in itself. This generosity reflects a philosophy of life that values legacy and positive impact on the world, more than the unbridled accumulation of material goods. For those seeking inspiration, this habit of keeping life simple and principles firm is an invitation to look within. What really matters to you? How can you maintain discipline and patience without losing focus on what brings you peace and purpose? Buffett shows that it is possible to be truly rich without giving up humanity and simplicity. What sets Warren Buffett apart is not just his stock-picking skills, but the philosophy of life he has embodied and shared with the world. His 6 principles of success are not limited to the financial world. They are lessons for living with purpose, integrity, and patience. Buffett invites us to view investing as a metaphor for life discipline, focus, and solid values lead to lasting results, whether in your wallet or in your heart. This holistic view transforms the way we face challenges and opportunities. More than accumulating wealth, it is about building real value, respecting limits, and cultivating habits that strengthen character. Buffett shows us that true success is composed like interest of the daily accumulation of small, correct decisions, supported by a firm and resilient mindset. Each action, no matter how small it may seem, can generate huge impacts. Furthermore, he teaches that the path to success is individual and requires self-knowledge. Knowing what matters, respecting one's own pace, and avoiding comparisons are essential to maintaining mental health and motivation. Simplicity, so present in his life, is a constant reminder not to complicate. What should be clear success is a state of balance between external results and internal well-being. Finally, Buffett leaves an open invitation to apply these principles to build a life of value, no matter where you start. His story shows that material wealth is a result of a mindset based on discipline, patience, and honesty. And ultimately, it is this sum that defines a legacy that spans generations, a true guide for those who want more than just money. Now that you know Warren Buffett's 6 habits of success, we invite you to reflect which of these principles do you already practice? And more importantly, which ones are you willing to incorporate into your routine to transform your life? The secret is not to do everything at once, but to take the first step with discipline and patience, letting time and compound interest work in your favor. Remember, true success is not just about accumulating money, but but also about building a solid reputation, respecting your own pace, and maintaining a clear vision of your purpose. Buffett shows us that simplicity, focusing on a long term, and taking care of your own circle of competence are keys to a consistent and lasting trajectory. So, are you ready to start implementing these habits today? Think about it. What changes can you make now to follow a path that is more aligned with this philosophy? Share your experiences and questions in the comments. Learning happens when we exchange ideas and grow together. If you like this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any tips to keep evolving on your journey toward success and high performance. Let's build a valuable life together.